Hi everyone, we are here at Sandwich Bay Bird Observatory and we're hoping to see some short-eared owls. And we'll be looking at whatever other wildlife we can find.
First stop was the beach, where there wasn't too much about on this cold old day, but then a couple of turnstones appeared. These birds are so called as they literally turn stones, flipping them over to see what invertebrates they can find. And this one managed to find something. It looks like a sea snail or gastropod, possibly a small whelk, and proceeded to pick chunks off it. There was not much else to be seen on the beach, wildlife-wise, so we headed back towards the Bird Observatory's reserve and stopped by this field on the boundary. It was partly flooded and had a number of waders on it off in the distance, but there were a couple of lapwings surprisingly close. Like most waders, they are usually wary of people, but seem largely unconcerned by our presence. So I managed to get some nice close-up footage. But it kept a close eye on us, and other people passing by did cause some alarm, but not enough to fly off. Eventually it walked off further away, so we headed towards the hides, overlooking the scrape. There wasn't a massive amount to see in the first hide, other than some distant ducks, and this close-in tufted duck that was diving away. But then a curlew flew in, so we headed to the second hide, where we got much better views. But almost as soon as we got there, it tucked in that fantastic beak and started to doze off. It was sat on the more distant island, all by itself. But every so often it would sit up and look around, before having a good preen. The curlew is the UK's largest species of wader, and my personal favourite. This was probably my closest ever view of one, and it was certainly the closest I've been while being able to film it, so of course I went in for some close-ups. I got some super slow-mo footage of it preening too. Such a wonderful bird. They are sadly in decline as a breeding bird in the UK. There was some bird activity on the nearer island to us, with lapwing, moorhen and starlings all looking around. While I was filming them, the curlew had taken off from the other island, but I mentioned I just heard a snipe, and Emma said she'd never seen one before. Just seconds before, 2 snipe landed right where the curlew had just been. Then another pair flew in, and landed on the closest part of the close-in island, right out in the open. Not bad views for Emma's first snipe. They couldn't have been any closer unless they'd landed on the grass right outside the hide. They were quite happily feeding away, probing among the stones with their beaks. It was a great opportunity to see how small these wading birds are, as they wandered close to the lapwing. And then the mallards. One snipe then stopped for a preen. Then the second bird joined in too. They then moved to the middle of the island, and you can see here how they're not much bigger than a starling. Then, after a bit more of a preen, good scratch, and being spooked by a starling, they headed to the far side of the island and flew off, back to the more distant island to join the other 2 snipe. We were here to see short-eared owls, but despite standing near the golf course, which had been a reliable spot for over a month, we didn't see anything of interest, other than a pair of fighting pheasants. It's been a nice day, despite the lack of sun and owls, with some of my best ever views and footage of Curlew and Snipe. So worth the trip to this great reserve. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Do consider subscribing if this is your sort of thing. And if you could share this video, it'd be great as well. All helps with the algorithm and all that stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.